Hello and welcome to Talk Time on Lugard TV. I'm Dominion Adeyanju. Joining us today in the studio is the Commissioner for Water Resources, Engineer Farouk Yahaya. Thank you very much for joining us today, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir. How is the ministry doing?
We're doing fine.
All right, sir. Assessing the last 1 year in Kogi State, can you tell us about the administration of Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo?
The administration has been, to the glory of God, is from grace to grace,
Yeah.
project to project, action to action, and concept to concept.
Yeah.
We give glory to God.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Evaluating your ministry's journey, can you tell us about your success story in the last 1 year of Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo's administration?
Well, the summary I will give you, maybe for want of time, is that we met a situation where taps were not running
Okay.
in the town. Nowhere tap was running.
Yeah.
And to the glory of God, as of today, some taps are running. It is work in progress because we've been able to revitalize the old Lokoja Water Works, which was designed to serve less than 100,000 people, constructed and commissioned between 1953 and 1956 during the colonial era. And the Lokoja Greater Water Works came to, take over from 2011. And that one became moribund due to the 2022 devastating flood that demobilized and destroyed all the sensitive equipments in the treatment facility. So His Excellency supported us because after giving directive, he gave directives and he supported us. We had to revert back to the old facility and upgrade it because Lokoja population, are supposed to have started from there.
Okay.
The Lokoja's population estimated population as at last year, November, December, we are estimated to have about 1 million inhabitants.
Wow.
While when that old Lokoja Water Works was designed and installed, it was designed to serve a population of less than 100,000 people. Yeah. So we have to go there and do what some of us may call a little magic there by the ministry. And today, by the grace of God, of the two reservoirs that were constructed by His Excellency, the former governor of the state, Alhaji Ibrahim Idris, we were able to use one of the tanks, which is the one, tank B we call it, is the primary reservoir, which has a holding capacity of about 3.4 million liters of water per day. And today, by the grace of God, precisely from September last year, I can say October, if I can remember, we started releasing water to some parts of the town. But before then, immediately on assumption of office, we faced the problem headlong. What we succeeded in first doing is to use that, start pumping water at about around March, April 2024. That is barely 2-3 months in office. We were pumping water. I'll be very specific. We were pumping directly from the treatment facility, the old treatment facility, to the Megari Palace axis. That is from where you have the Open University now. Yeah. Then we're alternating between them and the Kabawa. The Kabawa area we're alternating with starts from the cantonment side from Mobile. Yeah. We'll be releasing to Kabawa in alternate, sometimes hours or days. Mm-hmm. Sometimes in the morning we give this side, the other side, because what we have then cannot deliver to any of the reservoirs, okay, but we can only treat and pump out. Yeah. This too was achieved by some work we did between February and March, okay, as a quick intervention. Hmm. So before we carry out a comprehensive study and analysis of the whole facility to see to upgrading it. This was actually informed by the fact that The Greater Water Works, Lokoja Water, was requesting for too much money the government cannot be able to afford that time, between minimum of 18 billion to 100 and something billion plus. The 18 billion is when we are going to replace all the electromechanical equipment and hoist them or install them above the last known watermark. Then we'll need a minimum of 18 billion as the companies we contacted. That is the minimum bill we had. Then if we are to add some of the reticulation work to that, that will giving us about 24 billion. Then if we are to relocate the facility completely from there, we need a minimum of 100 billion.
Wow.
Because all the civil work have to be done again.
Yeah.
So don't forget the fact that all the distribution networks we have in Lokoja, they are distribution networks that were constructed in the late 50s, early and late 50s, with minor changes between 1992 and 1993. That is immediately after the state creation. I remember that time, His Excellency, the late governor, late Prince Abubakar Audu, when he came in 1992, specifically January, he also met a project on ground which he continued. And I can mention the company, Vodo Canal, did some work there. And those are the time I can say they do some little work on the distribution network of the town. So I'm giving you this background because the facility was constructed fine, that is the Greater Water, and distribution networks were not affected. We only have 1, 2, 3 transmission lines. The one bringing water from the facility to the primary and secondary reservoirs, then one to Poli, from then one to Army Barracks with a little spur into Zone 8. So the success story we have now is that we have been able to use the old waterworks designed to serve less than 100,000 people now to operate and treat water and send same to the secondary reservoir, which has a holding capacity of about 3.4 million liters per day. So this we intend, since we have succeeded in this, to now start rationing to different residents. Because the Greater Water, Lokoja Water Treatment Facility, which is the lasting solution, which is bigger, even if the money is available, require minimum of 14 months. The medium solution is this one we are doing at hand.
Okay.
And the long term will be the final rehabilitation and bringing on board the Greater Lokoja Water and metering, because that is where we are heading to. That will be done along with the distribution lines and metering. So, and by the grace of God, we give glory to same Allah that what we have achieved today, like the 3.4 million capacity tank, which is along the Manpati, since that tank was constructed in 2011, it was never washed. Initially, they didn't tell members of the public that we are carrying out the silting of that tank. 2011 to date is a long time.
Yeah.
This is about 13, 14 years. So, and the minimum we're supposed to carry out most of these things, minimum is 10 years.
Wow.
Although there are some areas, depending on the quality of water you have, there are areas where within even 3, 4, 5 years, you go in and wash those things. But for us here, I think we have a very good water body, and so we can stay up to 10 years before we can carry out such.
Okay, sir. Can you tell us some of the challenges of reticulating water to all homes in Lokoja and other major towns in the state?
Thank you very much. If we start from Lokoja, just as I've enunciated in the background I gave, the pipes were old. I'm not actually completely faulting the previous administration that, did that constructed the facility.
Okay.
It's supposed to have been a holistic thing. The governor has 2 years to spend that time, and he wanted to deliver it before he leaves.
Yes.
If not, it's supposed to have been a 4-5 years project, such that even after commissioning the facility, this work will continue. But that was not done, and subsequent administrations, like the next administration, attempted the reticulation. They made an attempt, actually. The administration of His Excellency Alhaji, our leader, Alhaji Adoza Bello, also made similar attempt, but a lot of encumbrances came in, which they inherited from the previous administration. Because it's a continuous administration, we were able to see why that distribution network for the states, the local, the capital was not continued. But by God's grace, this year we shall continue. Yeah.
So much as we'd love to keep you here, we'd have to end it now.
So
Thank you so much, sir.
Glad to have you.
Yes, and that's it on Talk Time on Lugard TV. Until next time, I'm Dominion Adeyandre. Thank you for staying with us.